More guns, less crime. I like IT state government after Pulse shooting. More gun rights in Florida? By Brendan Farrington, The Associated Press. Tallahassee, Florida Republicans are more determined than ever to pass bills expanding gun rights in the wake of the deadly Pulse nightclub and Fort Lauderdale airport shootings. They say law-abiding gun owners should be allowed to take their weapons to airports, government meetings and state universities, and would be in a better position to protect themselves and others if a mass shooting should erupt in one of those places. Anytime you create a gun-free zone, you essentially are creating a safe haven for mass shooters and the criminal element, and you put law-abiding people at a disadvantage, said Marion Heimer, who has lobbied for the National Rifle Association for more than 42 years. There are about 24 gun-related bills filed ahead of next month's 60-day legislative session, and the vast majority would expand gun rights so they can be carried, as one opponent said, pretty much everywhere. If it's a reaction to the Pulse shooting in Fort Lauderdale, it's a very odd reaction, said Patty Brigham, a vice president at the League of Women Voters of Florida and co-chair of the Florida Coalition to Prevent Gun Violence. It's like bad gun bills on steroids. While Democrats have responded to the mass shootings by proposing more restrictions, including a ban on assault-style rifles and large-capacity ammunition clips, they have virtually no chance of passing while Republicans dominate both legislative chambers. Democratic Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith of Orlando, whose bill would ban assault-like rifles, said expanding areas where guns can be carried isn't the right approach. Their solution is, we want guns everywhere, all the time, by every person, which is not going to address these problems. It's going to make them worse, he said. Republican Representative Jake Raburn of Valrico said many of this year's Republican proposals were easily approved in the House last year and will likely pass the chamber again this year. Raburn is sponsoring the bill to allow guns at airports. He said hypothetical arguments against the idea just don't hold weight, such as police not knowing which person holding a gun is an active shooter and which is a permit holder defending himself. Florida is one of only 6 states that doesn't already allow that, he said. We haven't seen any of these what-if scenarios of law-abiding permit holders being a problem in airports. The legislation. The following is a look at gun-related legislation that has been filed by Republicans and Democrats. Bills filed by Republicans would: broken vertical bar allow licensed handgun owners to openly carry their weapons. Broken vertical bar allow concealed weapons permit holders to carry a gun in non-secure areas of airports. Broken vertical bar allow concealed weapons permit holders to carry guns at any legislative meeting or committee meeting. Broken vertical bar allow concealed weapons permit holders to carry guns on state university campuses. Broken vertical bar allow concealed weapons permit holders to carry guns at county and municipal government meetings. Broken vertical bar allow concealed weapons permit holders to carry guns at career centers. Broken vertical bar allow members of the state cabinet who have concealed weapons permits to carry guns anywhere not prohibited by federal law. Reduce the penalty for violating the current open carry ban from a second-degree misdemeanor punishable by up to 60 days in jail and a $500 fine to a non-criminal civil fine of $25. Broken vertical bar hold business owners who ban guns from their property liable for injuries suffered by a concealed weapon permit holder who was attacked. Broken vertical bar allow concealed weapons permit holders to bring guns to courthouses and temporarily surrender them to security. The courts must keep the weapons in locked storage space. Broken vertical bar expands stand your ground to give more protection to people using the self-defense claim by placing the burden of proof on prosecutors to prove people charged with assaulting or killing someone else weren't acting in self-defense. Broken vertical bar place on the November ballot a measure asking voters to exempt law enforcement officers from the 72-hour waiting period to buy personal handguns. Bills filed by Democrats would: broken vertical bar ban semi-automatic assault-type rifles like Arkansas 15 seconds and detachable ammunition magazines that hold more than 7 rounds. Broken vertical bar ban guns at performance arts centers and theaters. Broken vertical bar. Remove exceptions to a law requiring guns in homes occupied by minors be stored in locked boxes or with trigger locks. Broken vertical bar. Increase the penalties for displaying concealed weapons in a threatening manner on or near school properties or activities from a third-degree felony to a second-degree felony. Broken vertical bar. Increase penalties for people who fail to store a gun in a way to prevent access by minors. Dozens of activists participate in a 49-hour sit-in to honor the victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting and to bring attention to gun control outside U.S. Senator Marco Rubio's Orlando office on July 11 in Orlando. AP file.